My fellow Americans, happy Thanksgiving to everyone else. Happy Thursday, nonetheless. Cheers. If you're on a tight budget and looking for a bike, it's usually a better option to go with a complete bike rather than building one yourself, because it'll usually get you a better bike for the money. But with a complete bike, while you probably are getting a higher quality bike, you are missing out on a key component of fixed gear that is a lot of fun. The connection of riding a bike that is truly personalized. A bike that is yours and yours only. From Singapore, Ooi Jo Wen, I am so sorry that I butchered your name, stretched his dollar far when he built up his PCO Aerosprint for a slim $293.34. Now let's see exactly what a sub $300 budget can build in this fixed gear bike check. Super quick though, most of you guys that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you find this video entertaining or informative, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button below so you can watch more fixed gear videos just like this one. Subscribing is 100% free and you can unsubscribe at any time. But if you want to check out my bike, the only bike that I own, the one that I ride on a daily basis, stick around until the end of the video to learn about our segment sponsor, Wabi Cycles. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this entire bike build, not just the frame set, but the whole kit and caboodle to make a rideable bike costs a slight 3 Benjamins with pocket change to spare for a burrito. To put how impressive this level of belt cinching is into perspective, my saddle and my seat post cost more than this entire bike. And I'm not saying that to show off. It's actually kind of embarrassing that I spent so much money on an inanimate object that I love so much. More money than this guy spent on his entire bike, I spent on 2 measly components. It is genuinely pretty impressive. To keep balling on a budget, we have a PCO Aerosprint in the second most baller bike color next to purple. If you've been around the fixed gear scene for a while, looking at this frame set may give you a case of deja vu. Vaguely familiar, but fuzzy on exactly where you've seen it. Well, the PCO Aerosprint is one of the dozens of frame sets that's, let's say, heavily inspired by Leader's tried and low-key jank 2010 Leader 735. Because why copy a bike that works when you can copy one that looks cool? I mean, by 2010 standards at least. Indonesian-based PCO is so stoked about their choice that they proudly announced their plagiarism to the world with "Designed in USA" on their sticker. Because yes, if you copy an American design and don't change anything about it, from Leader's signature long geometry, triangular aero tubing, and superfluous seat tube length, it's still designed in the USA if you just blatantly copy it, isn't it? But hey, it's fixie AF, looks cool to the right person, and most importantly, is easy on the wallet. And that's all some people need to start riding fixed and having a whale of a time. Weight, ride quality, and proper design be damned. It's a fixed gear. It'll still ride like one, just like these reasonably dangerous shirts are still shirts and will still wear like shirts that you can get from zachalotto.com/merch. The bars are 31.8mm wide boy risers for all your fixie goo needs, from Airwalk, which in my neck of the woods is synonymous with a discount shoe brand, finished in the equally AliExpress Zito grips. The bars are connected to a legend stem that I sincerely hope holds the bars as legendarily as its namesake, and the stem sits atop a 10mm carbon fiber spacer, labeled as such in Comic Sans, just in case you weren't convinced on the material. And the stem has enough mishmashed spacers on top to make Abraham Lincoln consider buying a new hat. I know you said that you're gonna cut it soon, but it's too easy to roast. The saddle is a Selle Royale Seta sitting on top of a Da Vinci seat post, designed by the 15th century Renaissance genius himself, 300 years before the invention of the bicycle. Pedaling this glorious jalopy is a set of no-name metal platforms that somehow seem higher quality than the hokey brand names on this bike, matched with Taiwan-made CKC foot straps. Excuse me, foot strap, singular, on the non-drive side, because getting both feet into the foot retention takes the dexterity and precision of a master Dance Revolution champion, and ain't nobody can be bothered building that up. Moving on to the drivetrain is a set of PCO 130 BCD cranks in a surprisingly close color-matched gold anno finish in true 2010 fashion. Bolted to the cranks is a 48-tooth chainring that is indeed good enough to make a functioning bike. Moving on back is a stamped brandless cog affixed with the infamous Gouda cheese lock ring to ensure cog swamps are always met with a slipping lock ring tool and bloody knuckles. The drivetrain is linked together with an austere yet utilitarian KMC chain. Taking this build round is a front Amenti RD40 and a slender 20-spoke drilling laced to Circus Monkey branded sealed formula bearing hubs. Chalking up some more chonk on this build is a mystery China wheel, measuring in at a hefty 60 millimeters deep for maximum weight training effectiveness while carrying this unit of a bike up and down stairs. Both wheels are finished in 25C CST tires that are veritably made of rubber. Could $293.34 net you a better bike for the money if you went with the complete rather than building one up yourself? Definitely, probably. But that complete bike wouldn't give the rider the same sense of connection and maybe even the same amount of enjoyment as this bodaciously budget bicycle. So if you're on a tight budget, should you buy a complete bike or should you build one up yourself? I'm out of wine. The answer is yes, as long as you ride it with a smile. If you want to have your bike featured on this weekly bike check series, you can find the instructions on how to do just that linked below the like button. And speaking of bikes that sure do put a smile on my face, this segment of the video was sponsored by Wabi Cycles. Every one of Wabi's design choices are meticulously made to give the purest ride quality for the money, and Wabi executes those choices perfectly with their bikes handmade by master craftsmen in Taiwan, and a friendly bike shop in Denver, Colorado that's eager to answer your questions and get you on a bike you'll love. Wabi's relentless attention to detail results in Wallace, my 58cm Wabi Special, weighing in at a grand total of 17.5 pounds straight out of the box. That's well under 20 pounds for a stock bike with completely steel lugged frame set and no carbon components. And that weight isn't just for quoting and impressing other cyclists though, it results in the best riding experience that I've ever had with a snappy and lively ride quality that only top tier steel can bring. That pure fun makes it easy for me to ride my Wabi Special as my only bike. If you're looking for a bike that puts an end to your search for the perfect bike, consider checking out Wabi Cycles linked at the top of the description, as it really is the closest thing that I've ridden to a perfect bike. And Fixie famous shoutouts to Stand Strong 108, there goes my notebook, Ryan Witz, Julian Corona, Eric Avallo, Gio DeZera, and Zane Kolnick for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through the support on Patreon. And life is short, but don't make it shorter. Ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.